So this week at NXT, Oba Femi had a mystery opponent, and the opponent was a hired gun, and it turned out it was Alexander Hammerstone, the former MLW World Champion, and he came in and he faced Oba Femi, whatever you want to call his name, and he ended up losing to Oba. And it was a big question that I want to talk about this because this is something that it just mind-boggling. Also, AEW facing backlash by the trolls in the internet and Twitter and so on, as the WWE fans trolling pretty much getting on AEW's back because the All Out was too violent. We're going to be talking about that and much more on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.
Is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, episode 211. And today we're going to be talking about Alexander Hammerstone, former MLW World Champion, who made his debut in NXT this past Tuesday. And I usually don't talk about NXT. I really don't, because I don't even watch the show, to be honest. I mean, I know that NXT has a working relationship with TNA, which to me is not working. I don't think it's working, because what I saw this week and whatnot was how WWE consistently brings in wrestlers, and then when they bring them to NXT, they make them look like they never wrestled in their life. Okay. Granted, when they go to the main roster, you have Michael Cole and you have Corey Graves usually talk about their past and whatnot. But there's usually these other wrestlers that go straight to WWE, Raw or SmackDown. We saw that with Tama Tonga. We saw that with Tonga Loa. We saw that with Jacob Fatu when they came in this year from other companies and whatnot. Now, this Tuesday, I don't know who was the guy who hired Alexander Hammerstone as a hired gun to go at the Oba Femi, whatever how you want to pronounce it and whatnot. Now, Oba, I know he's the NXT North American champion. Now, I'm hearing a lot of great things about this man. He's being dominant in NXT. But when you bring in a guy like Alexander Hammerstone, who's been around New Japan Pro Wrestling in here in the United States, TNA, former MLW World Champion, and you bring him into NXT, and you have the North American NXT Champion defeat him on his debut, makes the man look like he's a mid card. And now I want to talk about this because it is crazy how you make a former world champion, regardless where he's at. He was a former world champion. He was an MLW. Same thing with Swerve Strickland. When Swerve Strickland was in NXT, they treated him like crap. And now he went to AEW, became the world champion. And he's the highest paid in AEW. And WWE's complaining and crying about it because it's messing up as far as when it comes to contracting all these wrestlers. It's not a playing field, supposedly, now. Right? But here they go again, shitting on another former world champion, have him lose to Oba. Now, you're probably going to ask me, what would I have done? Well, what I would have done was have him, he could lose by disqualification or something. Make him like this guy just came in and he's going to be the guy who's going to give Oba a hard time and he's got to watch his back. No, but they made him lose to Oba. okay, or Abba, whatever, however you call his name. I don't know. The bottom line is, this seems to be the problem. How is it that you make a former world champion look like a mech car, but Joe Hendry, you made him look like he is a world champion material, like he was the biggest thing since sliced bread, because that's exactly what WWE did as far as NXT brand is concerned, and Shawn Michaels and their people there and whatnot. And this is what they did. You made a former world champion look like a mid-card wrestler. Meanwhile, Joe Hendry, they sent him packing because he couldn't beat Ethan Page. They had him there for a couple of weeks and made him look like, you know, the next Elias. And people telling me that this is working. Okay. And some of you might not agree with me, may say, I don't know what I'm talking about. But come on, I've been watching wrestling for too long. I know what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. Okay. And this is why I call this the one-man show, because I'm the one who's saying it. Not my partners, not my co-podcaster. You're hearing it from me, directly from the horse's mouth. Okay? You treated Alexander Hammerstone, a former world champion, like a mid-card wrestler, all because you want to push Oba Femi to the moon. Okay, look, it's understandable that you're pushing this guy to the moon. Now, my thing is, if you're pushing him to the moon, man, when he comes to the WWE main roster, man, he better be bigger than Roman Reigns. Okay, or to the level of Roman Reigns. Okay, because, I mean, to me, how is this working for TNA? On the same night, also, we saw Wendy Chu, whatever her name is, and Rosemary, out of all people, show up and attack Jordan Grace, and apparently, you know, as of last night, Jordan Grace ended up winning her match against Wendy Chu, but yet still got jumped by the same girls. And now she's talking about, oh, the next time you see me, I'm not coming along, which means this is going to continue on to NXT. Really? I mean, how is this working again? Please tell me. Please tell me, how is this working? You know what I'm saying? I mean, granted that Jordan Grace is the Knockouts World Champion, and yes, that's good for them, because and let's talk about this. Supposedly NXT, and I think they're helping each other as far as rating is concerned, because I mean, how bad are the ratings in NXT that they had to bring the Bloodline this week and whatnot to attack the Street Profit? What the hell is the Street Profit doing in NXT and whatnot? I don't understand. Why are they doing this? Are they that desperate to push NXT to beat AEW? Because that's the mission. I mean, because AEW can't right now, they cannot beat either SmackDown or Raw. And now Raw is going to be in Netflix in January, so really the ratings ain't going to matter by then, because now they're going to be in a streaming service. And then they're not only doing a 3-hour show, they're doing a 2-hour show now. And meanwhile, AEW is thinking about doing a 4th show, which I think that's a bad idea. It's a very bad idea. So, but again, they're doing this because it's like, and I believe that I think there's a Tuesday coming up this month. I think it's the 11th or the 10th. There is AEW, NXT are going to go head to head, and you know WWE is going to put all these nostalgia bullshit, and people are going to be looking at that because, you know, everybody talks about, you know, all the Attitude Era. They're going to bring all this stupid thing. And, you know, and I will be talking about the Attitude Era stuff because I got something to say about that on my next segment. But again, like I said, why they treated Alex Hammerstone like garbage, made him look like a mid-card. Joe Hendry, they treated him like a superstar, but then they sent him packing because he lost to Ethan Page. He couldn't beat Ethan Page and No Mercy. Okay, and now Jordan Grace is coming in, getting attacked by Rosemary. Out of all people, Rosemary? How many times I'm going to watch Rosemary against Jordan Grace? Now they're dragging that shit into NXT now. I don't know much about Wendy Chu, whatever her name is. I don't watch NXT, but I keep my eye what's going on. I keep myself informed of what's going on. Doesn't mean that I don't know what's going on in NXT because I don't watch the program. Okay, but you bringing in, I mean, it's kind of questionable. Why they're bringing all these WWE talent again, like they did last year, to boost the ratings because they want to be AEW so bad, and it's going to be worse now because AEW got a TVD already. So I'm sure that these WWE haters are going to go AEW haters are going to go off the chambers now, which leads me now to my next situation, my next segment, and it's AEW facing Backlash after the violent all-out matches. Okay, now it's funny because there was some clown on Twitter that made his thing up, went viral, even wrestling cringe called it cringe. But this stupid ass fan, stupid AEW hater, decided they wanted to do a petition to have AEW canceled because of the violent matches that happened at All Out. Now, All Out happened last Sunday, and I know that you guys saw what happened. It's been talked about all week. The first with the John Moxley putting a plastic bag over Bryan Danielson after his match, the syringe inside Swerve Strickland and the Hangman Page, inserted inside his cheek, went to the other side. Oh, it's too violent. It was violent. I'm not gonna front. It was violent. I never seen the syringe part. I never saw somebody getting body slammed through a cinder block actually. Not one time, twice. Okay, both wrestlers hit themselves with a cinder block. It was wild. We even had Willow hit Chris Stanlander with a bunch of fluorescent light bulbs taped together and slammed over her head. Yes, it was violent, and yet that pay-per-view was good. But it's funny how you got these fans going on Twitter and talking about they want a promotion to get canceled because it's too violent for them. And it's funny because I'm sure that, I'm not sure. I know this guy is a WWE fan because he says it on his profile, a WWE fan for life, blah, blah, blah. You must be not that old to forget that back in the Attitude Era, okay, WWE did a lot of violent crap. A lot of crazy stuff, storylines that went overboard. Let's not forget one that was wild as hell. They had people calling 911, and it was when Vince McMahon went inside his limousine and the limousine exploded. Do you guys remember that? Oh, do you guys remember when Undertaker took the Big Boss Man and hanged his ass from the top of the steel cage? Do you forget about that? Or did you forget when Undertaker went and threw Mick Foley from the top of the cage in 1998 in Pittsburgh at the Igloo and threw him off the damn cage and whatnot? And then he chokeslammed him again through the cage and Mick Foley had his freaking teeth coming out his nose. Okay. What about when The Rock used the 10 chair shot over the head of Mick Foley and busted him over in front of his kids? Okay. Nobody was complaining about that, were they? Nobody was complaining about that. So what's the problem? What happened? Have this fan base gotten soft? Or is it because it's all right when WWE does it and AEW is wrong when AEW do it? You see what I'm talking about? This whole tribalism that's been going on, it's been going on for the last 5 years. It's just getting ridiculous. The fan base of the WWE fan base, those, and I'm not saying all of them, I'm talking about those who criticize AEW for any little thing. Okay? For any little thing. Okay? And talk about whatever. Those are the ones that act like they got dementia. You got dementia, or you got old man symptoms that you don't remember none of this stuff that WWE used to do back then. Okay? What about when Batista put John Cena through the spotlight thing, and I think it was a last man standing, something like that, and he put him right through these lights and everything exploded. Did anybody say anything about that? Nobody says nothing about that. Everybody acts, especially those who criticize AEW's All Out show, criticize, that they wrong. It's just too violent. This and this, and even. At one point, Bully Ray had me going, thinking that what was going on, it was cool, it was a spot, whatever, blah, 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 because a lot of people were criticizing. But AEW, Bully Ray was another one. They went and took the fan side, or it's too violent. Meanwhile, you clown was in the you was the biggest. You claim you're the Hall of Famer or whatever, but you was a gimmick wrestler. You wrestle only in hardcore matches. That's it. That's what made you famous. The same thing that you're criticizing right now. How is that? How you criticizing something that you used to do in ECW? And the funny thing, let's talk about who WWE's associated with. They associated with GCW. I'm sorry, but GCW has Nick Cage, who had a match with Matt Cardona, and that match was the bloodiest match I ever saw, and I believe it was 2022, if I'm correct. Okay. Light bulbs, bar wires, and yet WWE is associating with GCW. They have a working relationship with GCW. How come I don't hear people complaining about that? But because AEW decided they're going to do things in the matters of their own hand and do whatever the hell they want because they want to be the alternative, that's just what's going to happen. And right now, AEW has reset everything now because now we have Swerve Strickland taking time off. We have MJF taking time off. Okay. Right now, Willow just lost her CMML Women's Championship this past Friday. So now it looks like Christina may have to go to Mexico to get her title shot because she beat Willow for that for the Eliminator match, which gives her a title shot. So, I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy seeing all this week with all these people complaining about, the violence that AEW brought at All Out. I think that's one of the best All Out I ever seen, besides the first one. They got the 2019 All Out was the best one, and then this year's. Because the other one's been, I think the worst one was 2020. That's when the Jackson, they were wrestling in Jacksonville, Florida, and it was humid, and there was botches after botches. Even Matt Hardy almost killed himself trying to do a swanton bomb on top of Sammy Guevara and almost killed himself. I think that was it. He hurt himself. So I don't understand. I don't understand these fans today. They become soft. Y'all become soft. Okay? I'll take that type of match and that craziness over anything. Besides New Japan Pro Wrestling, because I'm a New Japan Pro Wrestler and I love New Japan, the way they wrestle. But what AEW is doing right now, if you don't like it, don't watch it. End of story. That's the way I do things. I tell you straight up, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to go back for you. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. That's when I say stuff about the TNA relationship with NXT, the Alex Hammerstone. I got so many likes on that. When I posted that on Twitter, it was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the only one who feels this way about Hammerstone getting pinned by Femi. I'm not the only one who feels the way about what happened with AEW facing Backlash over these WWE drones and these haters, and they act like WWE never done nothing like this. Okay, and I just mentioned a bunch of them to you. Okay, I mentioned a bunch of them. Let's not forget the one with the Christian decided to spear Mick Foley through a flaming table. Let's not forget about that. So let me know what you think about this, because in reality, I usually, like I said, I don't really watch NXT to talk about what I just spoke about in my first segment, and I'm going to defend. I'm going to defend when it comes to AEW. I'm going to defend them when they're on the right. Now, when they're in the wrong, because if their product is shitty, I'm going to say this product is shitty. I don't really defend anybody. I'm not into this tribalism. I don't take sides. Okay, because even New Japan, if New Japan has issues, I'm going to say something. Like right now, as far as New Japan is concerned, Jake Lee is out with an injury, with a foot injury. He's one of the members of Bullet Club War Dog. He's out. So that's the second wrestler in less than a month. Yuya Uemura, he's hurt. He's going to be out probably longer than Jake Lee. So, right now, New Japan is in the process of the road to destruction, and that's going to be those events coming up at the ending of this month and whatnot. So, again, AEW also, they reset their storylines. It looks like we're going to see Darby Allin against John Moxley. I see John Moxley beating Bryan Danielson for the title, to win it for the 4th time, since he holds the belt 3 times. He's the one with the most title rings. But Bryan Danielson, he's facing oh my God, the announcer for Nigel McGuinness. How can I forget that? The man, I mean, I met that man twice in person. Nigel McGuinness against Bryan Danielson coming up. I believe it's coming up. I think Grand Slam. I think it's in Grand Slam. I could be wrong, but in Grand Slam, that's going to be something I want to watch, because Nigel McGuinness and Bryan Danielson has some historic Ring of Honor matches in their careers. So that's going to be, I mean, and Nigel McGuinness looked good at it All In. So that's something to look forward to. So guys, check this out. This is it for today. I mean, it's very short. I'm making it quick this week. There's not a lot of things going on. If you guys want to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, the X, and on YouTube, of course, follow the channel. Also, check out the podcast store, t-shirts, hats, hoodie. Go to tcwr.veryinkpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryinkpressive.com, and get your t-shirts, your hats, your hoodies. Already the 4 is about to start and whatnot. Check that out, you know. And if you don't want one for yourself, get one for your friend, get one for your girlfriend, get one for your moms, and I will appreciate it. One again, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, follow me at the X, of course, and of course subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is episode 211. I want to thank those who keep supporting me and whatnot. Let's go for to 500 subscribers. I need 500. I'm trying to get to 500, guys. 500. Right now, when it comes to YouTube, I'm noticing that I'm getting a little competition. You know what I'm saying? I notice everything. I'm not stupid. I see everything going on when it comes to like certain people, you know, trying to get into YouTube or something. But it's all right though, because you know what? I'm still like the best one-man show there is right now. You know what I'm saying? As far as starters, I'm not gonna say I'm the best one-man show in the business, because there's a lot of one-man shows out here and whatnot, guys who claim they're the best in the business. It's a lot of them. So I'm here, like I said, doing my job, telling you how it is, keeping it real, keeping it 100, whether I hurt feelings or not. That's the way I roll. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think about the Alexander Hammerstone falling to Oba Femi this past Tuesday. Let me know what you think about this AEW facing Backlash over their violent all-out matches. Let me know. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel and whatnot. And I will definitely, guys, see you next week with more of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.